Have you ever added reverb to your lo-fi beats, but they still feel like they lack atmosphere? A lot of producers think more reverb automatically creates more emotion, but that's rarely the case. In this episode, you'll learn how to use reverb creatively to build depth, texture, and cinematic ambience. That makes your tracks feel immersive instead of just washed out.
You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. In the last episode, we talked about why reverb matters emotionally, how it creates space, and why too much ambience can quickly make your mixes muddy. But today we're stepping into the creative side of reverb, because once you understand the basics, reverb stops just being a mixing tool and starts becoming part of your artistic identity. This is where lo-fi production gets really interesting, because some producers use reverb simply to create space, but others use it to create entire emotional worlds, that dreamy late night atmosphere, that nostalgic distance, that floating cinematic feeling that makes a beat feel more immersive instead of just looped. And the cool thing is, a lot of that atmosphere comes from subtle creative decisions, not expensive plugins. So in this episode, we're talking about how to use reverb creatively to build depth, movement, texture, and emotional atmosphere inside your lo-fi tracks. Okay, let's get into it. One of the biggest differences between flat mixes and immersive mixes is depth, and depth comes from layering distance intentionally. Think about a movie scene. Some things are close to the camera, some things are further away, some are barely visible in the background. And that's exactly how atmosphere works in music too. For example, your drums might stay relatively dry and up front so they feel grounded and clear. Your chords might sit slightly behind them with softer plate reverb. Then texture ambience and background layers, they can sit even further back with longer reverbs and dark tone shaping. That layering creates a three-dimensional feeling. And honestly, this is one of the easiest ways to make your beats instantly feel more professional. Because beginner mixes, they often place everything in exactly the same space. But advanced mixes create perspective, and once you start hearing music in that way, your entire production style, well, that changes. One of the best habits you can build as a producer is using send reverbs instead of placing separate reverbs on every individual sound. This helps multiple instruments share the same environment, and that creates cohesion. Instead of every sound feeling isolated, the track starts feeling like everything exists naturally together inside one emotional space. For example, maybe your piano, guitar and texture layers all feed slightly into the same soft plate reverb. Now they feel connected. Subtle things like this make a huge difference emotionally. And another advantage is control. When you use send reverbs, it becomes much easier to manage the overall ambience of the track without completely overwhelming the mix. Honestly, this is one of those small production workflow shifts that makes music production feel calmer, more intentional, less random plugin stacking, more deliberate atmosphere design. Now let's talk about one of the most creative uses of reverb in lo-fi music production, texture creation. Some of the best atmospheric beats don't just use reverb to simulate rooms, they use it to create entirely new layers. For example, take a simple piano chord and feed it into a long filtered ambient reverb. Now suddenly you have this soft floating wash underneath the beat. Or take some vinyl crackle and background noise, or some tiny percussion textures and just slightly reverberate them. That subtle ambience can make a track feel warm and alive without the listener even realising why. And this is where experimentation becomes powerful. Try reversing reverb tails, stretching them, filtering them heavily, layering them quietly underneath transitions. Suddenly reverb becomes more than an effect, it becomes part of the composition itself. And honestly, this is where producers start developing their own signature atmosphere, because anybody can download the same drum kit, but the way you shape emotional space becomes uniquely yours. Another thing that separates static beats from immersive beats is movement. And automation is one of the easiest ways to create that movement naturally, because ambience doesn't need to stay identical through the entire track. For example, maybe the reverb becomes slightly larger during transitions. Maybe the melody becomes wider during emotional moments. Maybe a snare tail expands before a section change. Those tiny changes create evolution, and lo-fi music thrives on subtle emotional movement. Not dramatic EDM style automation, just gentle atmospheric shifts that make the track breathe. One thing that helps massively is thinking cinematically. Imagine the environment slowly changing around the listener as the beat progresses. That mindset alone helps you approach ambience more creatively, because you stop thinking, how do I make this louder? And start thinking, how do I make this feel deeper? That's a completely different creative mindset. At some point in your music production journey, you stop chasing presets and start developing taste. And honestly, that's where the real growth happens, because there's no single correct way to use reverb in lo-fi music. Some producers love intimate dry mixes with tiny spaces. Some love huge dreamy ambient worlds. Some love dusty vintage plate reverbs. And some love dark cinematic halls. What matters is intentionality. When you listen to your favourite lo-fi artists, start paying attention to how they use space emotionally. Which sounds feel close, which sounds feel distant, and how long are the tails? How dark or bright is the ambience? Over time, you naturally develop preferences, and those preferences slowly become part of your sonic identity. That's why you really don't need 50 different reverb plugins. 1 or 2 good reverbs used intentionally can create incredible atmosphere. The real skill is understanding motion, contrast and restraint. That's what separates memorable production from random plugin experimentation. If there's one thing I hope this 2-part series helped you understand, it's this. Reverb is not just there to make sounds bigger, it's there to create feeling. It creates warmth, distance, memory, emotion, atmosphere. It shapes the emotional environment your listener exists in whilst they're hearing your music. And once you start thinking about reverb as world building instead of just mixing, your production process becomes much more intentional. So experiment slowly, trust your ears, pay attention to emotion instead of just presets. And remember, sometimes the most powerful part of a lo-fi beat isn't the melody, it's the space surrounding it. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.